Here we have the old corn crib, granary, whatever you want to call it. There's a pad of cement here. This is where the elevator would have sat, and it would have went up there in that hole. I suppose they poured a pad here so that it was easier to clean up spills. But here's the old granary. This side on the north here was grain storage, and this side down here was ear corn. I put ear corn in there. That's why there's slats there. Here we got a wagon load. Well, it's not even a load, but there's a little bit of oats in here. And then there is overhead storage. There's a couple big bins up here. And if you see that, where that bird nest is, there's like a handle sticking out. You just pull that open and fill your wagon. Whatever's upstairs is going to fall through that hole in the floor and fill your wagon. There's a couple, 3 bins on the side here. You'd close up. You'd slide in that groove. You would slide some boards to close the gap, and then you could fill that up with grain also. Anyway, there's a bin, overhead bin here, and there's an overhead bin down there. There's one. It's hard to see, but 3 bins on the side for grain storage and 1 for ear corn storage. It goes the whole length. And then there's a ladder to go upstairs if you want. But anyway, they added this little lean-to on here, and I wanted to show you something. Here's my old 213, the old flex head. Here's what I did for short soybeans. I was having trouble with them bunching up on the sickle, not getting pushed in. I went and got this, just zip tied a little bit of belt around the finger, and that will sweep it off of the sickle into the auger. I would have liked to used something larger, like, a baler belt off a John Deere baler, but I didn't have any of that laying around. This I had laying around. It could have been wider, to maybe to take up. I could tie it between 2 fingers. Here I just got it on 1 finger, but that helps. As far as getting teeth into the sickle, that's what'll happen. It'll get in there and you'll bend them, break them, and then you'll bend your guards. This is my spare head, and has already started to be my parts head, because you see I've stolen the point off. There's the point on that end, and on this end I've stole it for the other head because I lost it. So that's the only thing missing on here now. This is just a cart. It's just a bridge plank on a running gear is all. Bridge plank on a running gear is all it is. Who knows what the running gear was for. Here's the hoses. Sure everybody knows this. These 2 hoses hooked together are for the orbit motor, for the real speed. And this one get caught in there or what? And this one, that looks terrible. Terribly rusted now. This one is for the real height. replaced. There's some oil in there. That might have to be replaced before it gets used. Pretty bad shape. So that's it. There's a tensioner behind this shield for the belt for this wobble box down in there. And that's about it, I guess. This is the one I always had on that other 4400. We used to have two 4400s and ran two of them in the field. That was kind of neat, and I never did get a video of that. I got pictures of it, but no video. But anyway, there's another shot of what I did for short beans to sweep them into the head. If a guy could find some wider belt, it'd be better. But this works. You could position this right over your row, like if you were on wide rows. You'd position this right over your row. And I have them kind of staggered. I got one out there and one a little further in. The middle never seemed to be a problem. As far as bunching, it always seemed to bunch on the ends. But that's the way of it. I just tied it on there with zip ties. Here's the plug-in for automatic header height. So you don't have to sit there and play with the lever all the time. You just let her go. Here's something else. Here's a wheel rake. When we'd be trying to rake in real windy conditions, the hay would, see if I can get on here without breaking my neck. The hay would bunch up on the back here and start wrapping around the wheels, and then pretty soon the wheel would stop. You can see I already lost one. But I built these wind guards in the middle. They make plastic ones, and God, I think they're about $30 a piece for them. Wind guards to go in the middle. And I thought, I can make something a lot cheaper than that. And this is made out of some free material I got. There was a couple signs, like 4x8 dealership signs in between these, I don't know, sheets of fiberboard or whatever it is. Anyway, that's what I cut this out of. And you wouldn't think just putting those on there would make a difference, but it sure does. The wind doesn't force the hay onto the wheel anymore. The hay would just stick on the wheel, and then as it turns, it would just carry it up and over and wrap. Well, now the wind can't go through there and hold the hay onto the wheel, so it's, I don't know. It helps. So there's 12 wheels on here, and they wanted $30. So what is that, like $360? I built it for nothing. Just a little bit of my time. And it seemed to do the job. So there you have it. Oh, here's something else I'll show you guys. My seed cart. I got rye in this box now, but my seed cart. You'd always get down at the seed cart and park it, and you know, you only use it maybe once or twice a year when you're springtime, and then if you do any fall seeding like this rye, that you can use it maybe twice a year. And then what does it do?
Well, it
sits the rest of the year. And you know what? Them darn sparrows would drag stuff and build nests in here. There's the auger. This is what I built to prevent sparrows from building nests. There's the auger, and here's just this is a magnetic vent cover for like a house vent, you know, for your heater vent in a house. It's magnetic. I cut it to fit that, and now the sparrows can't get in the holes and drag a whole bunch of hay in there. They'd fill that tube plumb full of nest material, and then when you go to use it, everything's plugged up, and your spinning belts and shearing pins and everything else. So I put that on there. Prevents them from even thinking about going in there, and when you go to use it, when you need to use it, you just pull them off and stick them on the fender or stick them wherever, so you got them when you need them next time. There, that's my Sunday morning tour rant. Tip. Speaking of tip, man, I was looking for these. These are John Deere to Pioneer adapters. I was looking for them for that corn picker. The 620 has got Pioneer, you know, it takes Pioneer, and I had a cylinder with John Deere ends on it, and I could not find these adapters anywhere, and I had forgot. I used them on the rake. That's what happens when you got John Deere, Pioneer. You're always messing with adapters. I should just switch everything to one kind and be done with it, but I was able to find one. Well, there's 3 here. I had 4 adapters, and I could only find one. Well, here they are. I looked on every piece of machinery I could think, looking for them adapters. Here they are. Another shot of the overhead bin. I think they put nails in there to hold it shut, but you would just pull that open. I can't get it to move, but pull it open, and however much was up there would fall out. Here's one of the bins. I got some used tires in there. I'll take you up the ladder. Hopefully I don't break my neck. Any coons up here or anything? There's looking down in the old corn crib. Of course, it's missing some lumber on the bottom, so it wouldn't be usable now. Here's one of the overhead bins on this side. There's the hole in the floor. Nice window to let some light in. Even a light bulb up here for playing in the dark. Got some coon evidence here. And here's the other bin. I knocked out a wall so that we could play up here better. And here's looking down in one of these